Here are 6 stories from various Reddit threads. This first one comes from the Petty Revenge subreddit. Just over 10 years ago when I attended high school, we had a Korean exchange student join our class. She was very lovely, kind, spoke good English and was generally fun to be around. The type of girl that makes you smile when you speak to her, because of her sunny disposition. I became friends with her and over the next few weeks, she came to my house quite a bit to have dinner with my family. After a while, I noticed her not being her normal happy self. I figured she was missing her family and tried to cheer her up the best I could. One day however, it all became too much for her and she broke down crying in front of my mom, dad, and I. She explained that her host family were not very nice and that she thought they had been stealing stuff from her room. Are you kidding me? It wasn't anything of great value that was being stolen, but it was the principle. The next morning she woke up to empty chocolate wrappers shoved under her bedroom door. At first she was confused, then she checked her things for the chocolate she had bought to take back to her family and realized it was gone. Over the next few days she replaced the chocolate and the same thing happened. She found empty wrappers under her bedroom door. This happened 4 more times before she broke down crying to me and my parents. We consoled her and my dad told her not to worry as he had a plan. My dad left the house and returned about half an hour later with some chocolate laxatives that he bought at the pharmacy. I couldn't stop laughing but my friend didn't understand why. He explained what it was and told her to take the chocolate that she had bought for her family out of the wrappers, then put the laxative chocolate inside the wrappers. Later that evening she returned to her host family's house to set her plan in motion. Nothing happened that night, the chocolate remained where it was. After 3 nights, my friend woke up to see empty chocolate wrappers. Sure enough, someone had stolen them, but the question remained who. This was quickly answered when my friend saw the youngest teenage daughter of the host family rush into the bathroom. After a while she came out to tell her mom that she didn't feel very well. My friend laughed to herself each time she saw her rushing to the bathroom. The girl didn't stop going to the bathroom for over 24 hours. Valuable lesson learned. This next one also involves a petty neighbor and oh boy, you're not ready for this one. I have been living in a middle-floor apartment. For context, this is a 3-story building. For months, I have been hearing screaming and swearing, calling someone or something an asshole, dumbass and more. Now this wouldn't be a problem if it was infrequent. We all have bad days. However, my building is a renovated factory building so the floors and walls aren't really soundproof. I've done my best to be a considerate, quiet neighbor. I work long hours and travel often for months at a time so I only met the apartment next to mine a month ago. However, the neighbor has been at this consistently. At least 3 times a week for the past couple of months. I left a polite, anonymous note asking them to please stop, or to keep it down at least. The screaming continued. So next time the screaming started, I prepared myself to do what upstairs neighbors are best at. Stomping. I returned to my flat and began stomping, and then put my speaker to face the floor, and played a quick burst of black metal. The screaming stopped. He screamed again a couple of hours later, rinse and repeat. Nothing since. Next time I hear him screaming, I'm thinking about recording the rant, raising the volume and playing it back at him through the vents. Now let's get away from crazy neighbors and look at dramatic stories. A little while ago, I went to my sister's wedding. I'm a 27-year-old guy and she's 30. We're not super close, but we've always had a decent relationship. No major problems. I was really happy to be there and celebrate her big day. But something weird happened at the reception. When I checked the seating chart, I saw I was placed at a table with kids. Actual kids. Like 10-year-olds, few teenagers, and even a baby in a high chair. I don't have a partner, and I guess because I'm single and known as the funny uncle type, my sister thought it would be funny to put me with the kids. I tried to laugh it off, but after 45 minutes of one kid talking non-stop about Minecraft and another throwing bread rolls at me, I'd had enough. So I quietly left. No drama. No scene. I texted my sister congrats, and told her I wasn't feeling well. Later, she found out I left because of the seating and got really mad. She sent me a bunch of texts saying I was being dramatic and selfish, and that I ruined the vibe. Even my mom said I was childish for leaving over a joke. But honestly, it didn't feel like a joke. It felt embarrassing. I didn't want to make a big deal at the wedding, so I thought leaving quietly was the better option. So, am I the bad guy here? What do you think? This next one is a rough one. I'm supposed to get married in 3 months. But now I don't even know if the wedding should happen. Last weekend, I was away. My fiancé was texting me all these sweet things. At 10:05 p.m., he messaged me saying how much he loves me. He called me at 10:16, then again at 10:24. After that, he texted I love you. But then, just 25 minutes later, at 10:49 p.m., he texted me when he clearly meant to text another woman. He said, "Did you get home okay? You should have stayed." I found those messages and confronted him. He swore nothing happened. He said it was a joke. He said he was drunk. He said she's ugly and that he'd never cheat on me. But the next morning, it got worse. I texted him at 9:05 a.m. He didn't answer. But at 9:12 a.m., he texted her again. "How hot are you in this photo, huh? Was your kid still awake? You should have stayed with me." Then at 9:29, he finally messaged me. "Baby, I miss you already." As soon as she replied at 10:16, he texted her back right away. Then at 10:25, he called me for a video chat, like nothing had happened. And while all this was going on, he was also guilt-tripping me for getting invited by a male friend to hang out with my sister. He told me he was just helping a friend, then changed it to I don't even remember and I was drunk. Nothing physical happened anyways. He sent me a long, emotional email, crying and begging me not to leave him. He promised to stop drinking. He said he'd give up his job, move to another country, give me full financial control. He even said I'll be your slave. But he refuses to give me access to his social media. I paid for everything for this wedding, and he told me he won't compensate me, even though he's the one who messed up. He says it's not cheating because nothing physical happened. But texting another woman that she's hot and should have stayed with you right after calling me his angel? I feel sick. I feel manipulated. I don't know what to do. Should I cancel the wedding? Or give him one more chance? Am I overreacting? Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Reddit stories. Here's a wild story from a recent family gathering. I'm 29 and live out of state, so I don't go to family events often. But this time, I showed up after a few years, trying to be nice and catch up. While I was chatting in the kitchen, this distant cousin, who I've only met once when I was like 12, suddenly corners me. She starts with, "You don't have any kids yet, right?" I say, "No." Then she asks, "Are you married?" Again, I say, "No." Then her face lights up, like she just hit the jackpot. She goes, "Well then, you should help pay for my wedding. You've had no major expenses like kids or a husband, so it's only fair." At first, I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She started listing off her wedding expenses, like the cost of her venue, the dress she wants, and saying how just a few thousand from each well-off cousin would really help. Mind you, I don't even have this woman's number saved. I laughed awkwardly and told her, "Sorry, I'm not in a position to fund someone else's life choices." But she kept pushing. She said, "You're single, you don't really have anything serious to spend money on. Apparently, my rent, bills, therapy, and cat food don't count as real expenses. Basically because I haven't used my uterus yet, my wallet is now family property? No thank you." Safe to say, I left early with what little sanity I had left. This last one comes from the Bridezillas subreddit and honestly, I don't know what to think. Let me start off by saying planning this wedding has been exhausting. It's just been non-stop opinions, stress, and problems. But finally, things were starting to calm down. Then, my maid of honor hits me with something new. She's getting married after I am, and I've made it very clear to her, and everyone in our group, that after my wedding, I'm going on my honeymoon. Then I have to be back by the next weekend for my cousin's bridal shower and another wedding. I actually tried to skip that wedding, but my fiancé said it'd be rude since they're coming to ours, and he's right. So I agreed to go. Now here's where it gets frustrating. My maid of honor tells me yesterday that she wants her bachelorette party on the same day I already have 2 events booked. I told her I can't do it, I'm busy. She says she's frustrated that someone so important to her can't make it. But let's be clear. That date was never discussed. It wasn't in my calendar. And our mutual friend has a totally different date written down. Turns out she only picked that date because her hairdresser is available. That's it. I even asked her, what other dates can work? And I gave her 3 whole weekends, including the one before my wedding. But every time I tried to lock in a date, she'd put it off. Now suddenly, we're planning everything around a hairdresser? To make it worse, her own maid of honor seems completely clueless, like she's just floating through the whole thing saying, it's all gonna work out. I'm honestly just fed up. This was supposed to be the fun part of planning, and instead, it feels like another chore. What would you do if your maid of honor acted like this? Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more Reddit story time.